Hi and welcome to another One Take Friday. Well, this week I'm not making the project. You'll be seeing Denise's hands, and she's going to put together this beautiful mini album cover, and she'll be using mostly Tsukineko products. And right now the album is resting on a fireworks display, which is one of the products that we'll be using today. And it comes in a wide variety of colors. What you're seeing is just the first tier of the display that we have. So the first step Denise is doing is she's preparing the actual cover paper, and this is a text weight paper that measures 11 by 17, and she's using a Kaleido color stamp pad in the Tahiti color combination and a brayer. And what you're seeing her spray at a very rapid pace is the ink potion number 9, which is an ink blending solution that you can use with any water-based ink. And the cool thing about this is that it won't curl your paper. So she's not thinking about it, she's just laying down the color. And we're going to let that dry a little bit, and we want to crumple this up to create some texture. And she's going to add more texture to the paper by rubbing some of those Memento ink dewdrops over the raised portions. So now she's going to add some sparkle and shimmer to the whole cover by using the fireworks sprays, and she's going to spray that randomly. And I do apologize for the shakiness. So she's using 2 different colors of fireworks. And now she's going to set this aside to dry and work on the image for the front cover. And this stamp set is by Stampendous, and it is called the Old World Map, number CRR163. And she's going to use those 3 Memento inks to stamp the map. And distress it by crumpling it. You just have to be careful when you crumple a piece of cardstock like that. It's best to break down the fibers first and then give it a good crumple. And now she's adding more distressed, she's doing more of a distressed look again, using different blues, and I believe she's going to go back with some of the potter's clay. She's now distressing the edges with a pair of scissors, but you could also use a distressing tool. The scissors just happen to be handy. She's going to add some dark blue ink around the edges just to make the image pop. Instead of matting it onto a piece of cardstock, that's a good trick as well. If you add a dark color to your image, it will definitely pop against a lighter color background. And of course, some shimmer. This is the shimmer spritz in the copper color. It just adds that beautiful sheen. And some fireworks, because they are shimmery as well, and they will add a nice pop of color. So while this piece is drying, she's going to work on the inside covers of the album. These two pieces measures 5.5 by 6 3/4, and the last piece that she just added on the craft mat is a piece of plastic onto which she's going to create a palette of colors using the Brilliance inks, and she's also going to use the ink potion number 9. So she's adding the colors onto that piece of plastic in a random fashion and then spraying the ink potion, and that will make the colors move. And of course, the more ink potion that you add, the easier it is to move the colors around. So now she's using a technique called swooshing, which is a term that we came up with, and see, she's going to do the second piece as well. Unfortunately, you need to clean your plastic plate before you do the other one, because otherwise the colors will get muddy in that they won't retain their true color if you swish them around too much. So her second piece is going to turn out so beautifully. It really looks like marble. Gorgeous. So while these two pieces are drying, she's going to bring back the front cover paper, and she's turning that upside down. And she will glue 3 pieces of chipboard to the back side. And the pieces of chipboard are 6 by 6, so you have 2 pieces of 6 by 6 and one for the spine that measures 1 inch by 6 inch. And she's using Tsukineko tape to adhere those pieces to the paper. So now she's adhering the chipboard pieces to the back of the paper, and the spine will be added about 3/16 of an inch away from the 2 side pieces, and that will create the perfect gap for the book to close properly. And now she's cutting the corners to create mitered corners. And to have a nice mitered corner, you need to leave about 1/8 of an inch of paper at the corner, as I'm showing right here. And as she's wrapping the paper around the chipboard pieces, she's using her fingers to crease in the gaps, and that also helps the book to close properly. It's now time to add the inside of the cover, and again she's using Tsukineko tape for that. They will meet, or they will overlap in the middle at the spine. And the reason why we're doing this way is that 2 pieces are easier to manage than 1 long piece. And it doesn't really matter if there's a seam in the middle, because there are pages to be added to this album. We're just showing you the album cover right now, but you'll see in the end we're going to do a show and tell of a finished album, and you don't really see the seam. So she's lining up the 2 papers, and again she's using her fingers to crease in the gaps. and that way the book will close properly. And now it's time to add the main image on the cover. And there it is. Here's the completed album that Denise made at CHA. As you can see, it's bound by 3 pieces of ribbon. Inside, she's added 3 signatures of cardstock, and some of these pages were altered using different techniques and some other products by Tsukineko, like the Goosebump sprays and some stencils and stamps. And that concludes our tutorial for today. Thank you, Denise, for making it possible, and thank you all for tuning in this week. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and we will talk to you next week. Bye!